Hey, how's it going, my fellow night hunters and night huntresses? My name is Miles, and welcome back to another episode of Spaceflight Simulator. You guys remember my Perseverance mission with the Atlas V rocket? That's what we're going to be using for this video, but instead of a rover on Mars, we are going to land a drone on Venus, like what NASA and a few other space agencies have done in the past. This will be the second drone I land on Venus, like what I did with the Atlantis mission a few videos ago, except it won't be a manned mission this time. I just have to do a few more configurations to the rocket, but I won't be long. I just need to remove some of my Hawk engines from the SRBs, that way we won't accelerate too quickly, remove some dry fuel because we won't need all of it, and reconfigure the descent stage because it was originally configured to lower gravity, and Venus has roughly the same as Earth. I don't want to do too much so I don't have any issues with the thrust to weight ratio. This is the drone that's going to land on Venus, and I forgot to tell you that I made the Atlas V with the help of this guy on the screen, in case you want to build any of the rockets and use them to your imagination. I redesigned the rocket to be able to travel to Pluto, but as this is the mobile version, the farthest object is Jupiter. While Timelapse Me is reconfiguring the Atlas V, I want to tell you to like this video if you enjoyed it to the very end, and subscribe to my channel to be a night hunter. If you want to stay updated on my uploads, be sure to hit that bell. I mean, come on. I don't want to be seeing this. This is just unbelievable. Just gonna put the nozzles back on, and we're set with the SRBs. Now I have to take off the descent stage to add some ionic thrusters, because why not? And then I have to add these extra ones to the stage script, because again, why not? And with that, we are all set. And now this rocket is now ready for launch, but first we are gonna have to head to the transfer window, which is about 2 years from now. And while that is happening, I want to tell you to be sure to head to my Discord channel to create ideas for future videos. Link is now in description. We are now go for launch in 3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Liftoff is nominal. Venus, here we come. Hopefully it doesn't get crushed from Venus's atmosphere of 90 Earth's atmospheres, which is about the same as being 200 meters underwater. 1 cubic meter weighs about a metric ton, or about this much for our fellow American viewers. 5,000 meters in climbing, velocity 266.4 meters per second. We are not slowing down anytime soon, which is good, because if we were, we would have something wrong with one of the SRBs and we won't be able to get to Earth's upper atmosphere. In a few seconds we won't be needing them, so we're going to get rid of them, leaving us with the first stage or second stage. So let me go ahead and do that, and we shall continue our ascent. And as we ascend through the atmosphere, it starts to get thinner, making the sound harder to propagate through. And there's an issue with the mobile game physics, the main thing being sound, which I have to edit to make quieter. The second and main issue is the flame exhaust, which should be fanning outward more as we get higher. That's what I want them to fix. The third and final mobile version issue is the designs. I want them to be more realistic in the mobile version as well, especially the sky crane action. But the game is free, so this is what I get. Alright, let me go ahead and jettison the fairings. We don't need them at this point. And in a little bit we will separate the first stage tank, and we'll use the Centaur stage to get into what NASA called the coast phase. We are now done with the second stage. It took us about 6.5 seconds from stage set to ignition in the real Martian mission. Would you look at that? We've somehow managed to gain enough momentum to orbit in less than a Planck time. I'm just that good at playing. Alright, let's go ahead and orbit to the transfer window. But first, I have to make sure Zarya isn't in our path when we activate the Centaur stage for the ascent. Zarya is one of the modules for the ISS, and is the first module of the ISS. I also have an improved communication satellite because the last one wasn't able to stay in orbit, so it burned up in the atmosphere. We are now at the transfer window, and now we can light up the Centaur stage and continue our ascent to Venus. It'll take me about 3 minutes to get our trajectory set, but if you give me about 20 seconds, I can tell my viewers and editing crew, thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate you guys waiting for me to record and send my videos to my editing crew so they can bring out my funny, nerdy, or even raging moments throughout my recording sessions. And to my subscribers, thank you for staying with me through these hard times. It lets me know that someone out there likes the nerd in me. Our trajectory is now set for Venus, and now we have to realign the rocket so that the Centaur stage doesn't smash up against the cruise stage after it's jettisoned. After that, maybe once or twice, we might have to adjust our trajectory. When you want to land at a certain place, you might have to set it a bit farther down, because the line will only show your path without air resistance. Physics teacher be like, ignore air resistance. Physics teacher be like, what's air resistance? Never heard of it. Alright, I just have to make sure we're on the right track, because the title of this video is Lavinia, so that would indicate that I'm going to land at Lavinia Planitia. Alright, just a few more minor adjustments, and looks like we're now set for EDL. If you haven't watched my last spaceflight simulator video, EDL is short for Entry, Descent, and Landing, which, for Curiosity and Perseverance, was nicknamed the 7 Minutes of Terror. Hold on, let me go ahead and jettison the cruise stage and get back to what I was saying. By the time NASA had gotten word that the rover had touched the atmosphere, the rover would already be on the ground, either a safe land or crash. Just a quick side note, it took me a few times to get it right, but I might leave the bloopers for the end of the video. Atmospheric entry is now go. 3190 meters per second. Altitude is now 65.3 kilometers. Once you enter the atmosphere, friction will slow it down, which will help us deploy our chute, and will burn the heat shield when the air is thick enough. We are on the entry stage for the EDL. In a little bit, the air will be thick enough for aerobraking. Now what that is, it's basically using air friction to slow down. It's like skydiving. You fall faster when diving head first, and slower when your body is parallel to the ground with your arms and legs sprawled out. And that's also what the heat shield is used for. It protects whatever's in the capsule from the conditions of entry, while also slowing it down as it falls in the air. It looks like we're slowing down, but our trajectory isn't where I wanted it to be. But I think there's enough fuel to use the descent stage to get the drone as close to Lavinia as possible. Once we hit 2,500 meters, we'll jettison the heat shield because we won't need it from there. And then we'll deploy our chute to help us slow down even further enough to allow us to jettison the back shell for our descent to Lavinia, or close enough to it. Just before touchdown, we're going to deploy the landing legs for an even safer landing. We are now 10,000 meters in altitude, but we're 1,200 meters away from where we need to be to touch down. The heat shield is able to cool down, but we still need it for aero braking. When we're going below 250 meters per second, that's when we have the green light to remove the heat shield. And it appears that we already are falling below 250 meters per second, but we're not low enough to remove it. 5,000 meters and descending at an acceptable rate, currently at 110 meters per second. We are still in the green light. While we're descending, if you're still watching, please hit that thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel for more updates. And if you want to stay updated, hit that bell. It's really easy. I don't want to be seeing this. And if we get to 20 likes, I'll use my new Saturn V for a Mercurian mission. And also, if you're generous, please cash at me just a single dollar so I can buy me a new laptop. Link in the description. I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom. Mark, do not touch my tablet. We are now 70 meters above the ground, descending at a peaceful rate of 4.5 meters per second. Landing legs are now deployed. It took me a while to get back into my studio, but that's alright because we're now touching the surface of Venus in 3, 2, 1. Beautiful landing. Touchdown is complete with the Lavinia lander drone. We have not only one-upped all other Venusian landers, but also my prototype lander, which marks the end of our mission to Venus. We don't need the descent stage anymore, so now we're going to have it fly off to a safe distance and crash somewhere else. And now, it is time for the bloopers and fails. 3, 2, 1. Forgot to turn on the cheat again. We should be there in no time. I wasn't trying to be in the Carmen line. Why does he keep doing that? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, right. The landing legs. What is my descent? I forgot to put it in full throttle. Wait, did the game just crash? I feel like it just... Oh, my CPU was heating up. That's all my bloopers for this video. And thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, hop onto my servers, and please give me $1. Stay foxy, stay focused, stay in school. Bye guys, I'll see you in the next one.